The Gina and Maddie podcast.
Central Coast waking up this morning as A-League Women's Premiers.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Ninja A-League 2025 champions for the first time in the club's history, the Central Coast Mariners.
Absolute scenes down there at Amy Park in Melbourne. We are still trying to get a hold of the manager, Emily Husband, who was scheduled to be on the show. And I said to producer CJ this morning, I said, there is no chance she is going to be answering.
She'll be
her
out
phone.
partying, surely.
Oh, gosh. I hope so. I hope they're
Gabby's just
painting.
walked in.
Oh, there's Gab.
She's got the scarf on.
Gab was down at Amy Park. Actually, can we get Gabby in? Can
Yeah,
we
let's get her in.
Let's just stop
Yeah.
what we're doing here because
Yeah.
last night on Paramount Plus, the final scene. So you see there the penalty shootouts. Bianca Gallic is there in front of the goals. She kicks it, puts it in the back of the net, wins it in penalty shootouts, and there's emotional scenes. You see Emily Husband on the sideline and her entire coaching staff all hugging, embracing, and then on the broadcast of Paramount Plus, they cut to the crowd, and who do they cut to? Our very own Gabby in the stands. I'm actually shocked you are here in the office. Firstly, Gab, we'll get to how you got back to the coast from Melbourne in like 12 hours. In a
so
sec.
early.
How was last night?
Well, the voice gives you a clue. It's just insane. It was so amazing and so proud of Emily and that whole team and everyone at the club and some of them that are no longer at the club that fought so hard to get that women's team. A lot of people don't realise we'd been pushing for that for well over 5 years.
Yeah.
And there's a little 12-year-old me who started playing football that, you know, it's a bit of a full circle moment.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many young kids, not just girls, but young kids right across the coast. A lot of them who travelled down with their folks to watch that game that, you know, they've got real visible heroes now. Like those women are just phenomenal.
Oh, you make me cry.
I got goosebumps. I'm gonna play the audio of that moment one more time for you to relive and for everyone here on the coast, Gabby.
To win the grand final, Bianca Gallic for the Mariners. Bianca Gallic is good with the penalty. And the Central Coast Mariners are the Ninja A-League champions of 2025. One of the most extraordinary stories in the history of the game in this country. A team born out of recess, revived, and now thriving all the very way to the pinnacle. Champions of the A-League women.
And it's at about that point of the broadcast they cut to you in the stands with your
Bawling
fam.
my eyes out.
Yeah.
With my 13-year-old. It was that. I mean, that's probably the most special bit, right? Like I took her down. I got 5 kids, and it took me to number 5 to get one who could care less about football. And it was funny. It was a big day for a 13-year-old. We got up at 3:30 yesterday morning and made the trek down to the airport. So she was crashing pretty hard by sort of 2:00 when we met with the other fans in Fed Square. And then, you know, the walk to the stadium and, you know, credit to the active support that went down. Max had his drum and there were so many familiar faces, you know, chanting all the way along to Amy Park. And, you know, yeah, her energy started to lift and she started to get excited. And then, you know, she's seeing players that she's been lucky enough to meet, you know, and seeing Emily out there and, yeah, she just got a buzz on and it was so cool to
Can you tell us a bit about like the struggle? You know, he was saying that they've had a struggle to get to where they are. What happened? How did it all start out?
Oh, look, I mean, everything's been a challenge, you know, in sport. The girls have suffered, you know, there's been a few ACL injuries and you know, players that, you know, they're much, you know, would have much rather had on the park, some that have come back from injury. And Mariners has always been a little club. That's not a new story. Yeah. But when you think about the challenges in women's sport and, you know, it is professional now, but it's still a long way off, you know, what a lot of people are used to when it comes to professional sport. and they just dig in, and the Central Coast has been unreal.
So lost funding, lack of funding in 2010 meant that couldn't support the team any longer.
Yeah, so when the team originally came in, it was Mariners Club sort of by badge, but was run externally. I think the program was run out of Sydney, and yeah, they just struggled to get the funding. But I mean, even that, it was phenomenal. Jill Foster was down there last night and actually, took the trophy out at the beginning of the game. Jill was one of the originals, and she comes to virtually every one of the girls' games with her original Jill Foster jersey on.
Amazing.
With a whole bunch of Matildas alumni, including, and I think it's important to give a shout out, Renee Isarif. Like when I was a kid growing up, and like we're talking 30 years ago, Renee was a name. She was a legend. Yeah. She was the coastie chick that made it. She was the first coast player to represent nationally. Renee comes to every game. They come with a bunch of other Matildas alumni and just throw all their support behind them and the girls. And yeah, it's pretty special.
Okay, so there's a goal early in the second half, then right on at 80th minute, equaliser. How are you feeling at that point going in to then extra time and penalty shootouts as a die-hard fan? How was the heart rate?
I was actually all right. Like there were other fans around me and like mates and stuff, and they were getting really nervy and they couldn't watch and they kept staring at the back wall of the stadium. Like they were really struggling to get nervous, and I'm just like, guys, like it's all good. They got this. Like, I don't know. I just had this calm sense. And I think Emily, you guys have spoken to her before. She has such a calming presence, and she does so much prep and with the players, like they're such a tight unit, her staff, they've just got this awesome air of composure about them. So it doesn't matter what a game throws at them.
I love that. And
really?
We spoke about, I played this a little bit earlier, 16 years of age, saying, I don't know what, I was being a rat bag at 16. Then you've got 16-year-old Tiana Fuller, who's been given the job of taking the first kick for the Mariners in the penalty shootouts, and she just had ice in her veins.
This will be an experience she will never forget. A few boos and whistles, but they are shooting towards their own fans, the Mariners. It's Fuller. And that's why she took them first for the Mariners. Tiana Fuller sends Courtney Newbon the wrong way, and after one kick each, it's the Mariners in front.
A team of the future.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Like there's players in that squad. It's quite a young squad. And, having local girls on there too, like, Annalise Rasmussen, like, it adds that extra special element to it, right? It's like so many people go, oh, I've never heard of the Central Coast. Well, guess what? You
on the
will.
map. Gab,
So good.
I couldn't be happier for you personally. I know how much this means to you, and on behalf of Star 104.5, we are all so stoked for the Central Coast Mariners women's team, Emily Husband and the entire team. What they have done is just a monumental effort. How did you get back here?
Yes. Why are you here?
Yeah, surely Maltz give you the rest of the day off, surely.
Oh, I'm not going to lie. I'm hoping for an early mark.
All right.
These are probably the only words anyone will hear out of me today.
Because you don't normally sound like this for anyone listening. This is not your normal voice.
No, well, I have been told my normal voice is annoying, but this will be annoying for
This
lots
one's
of
sexy.
different reasons.
I reckon you got an early mark coming your way, Gab. Thanks for being put on the spot and jumping in the studio with us as well.
Cheers, guys.
Listen to Gina and Maddie weekday mornings from 5:30. Live on the Star Player.